Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Thank you for tuning in today to this life-changing episode of the Denzel Washington podcast. Please first subscribe to my channel. Today I want to talk about something so close to my heart, a subject that affects us all. 5 gut instincts you should never. And the number 1 is trust your inner voice. Your gut is not just some random feeling or emotion. It's your inner compass, a guide that connects you to something far greater than what you see in front of you. It's a force inside you, built from your experiences, your knowledge, and your instincts, and it's more reliable than any external advice you'll ever receive. When your gut speaks, it's not just telling you something, it's screaming at you to pay attention. Yet so many people dismiss it, second guess it, and ignore it. Why? Because the world has taught us to trust everything but ourselves. We've been conditioned to rely on external validation, logic, and reason. But let me tell you, your gut doesn't lie. It knows things that your mind can't even comprehend. Think about the last time you had a feeling about something, whether it was a situation, a person, or a decision. You knew deep down what was right, even though your rational mind tried to talk you out of it. That feeling wasn't a coincidence, it was your gut. It's the sum of all your experiences, your values, your belief systems, and your instincts. Your gut has the wisdom of everything you've been through, even when you don't realize it. It's like a filter that sifts through all the noise and gives you clarity on what's really important. It sees the bigger picture, even when you can't. But here's the thing, most of us don't trust it. We question ourselves, we seek approval, and we let doubt creep in. We're afraid of being wrong, of making mistakes. But let me ask you, what's worse? Trusting your gut and making a mistake, or ignoring it and living with regret? The truth is, if you ignore your gut, you're ignoring a part of yourself that has been honed by everything you've experienced up to this point. It's been guiding you all along, trying to steer you in the right direction. I'm not saying that your gut is infallible, but it's an invaluable resource. When you ignore it, you're essentially saying that your own judgment doesn't matter. You're giving away your power. But when you listen to it, when you honor it, you're reclaiming your power. You're tapping into something that's uniquely yours, something no one else can take from you. That's the power of trusting yourself. There will be times when it feels hard. You might feel uncertain. You might second guess yourself. But that's exactly when your gut is trying to tell you something important. It's often in those moments of fear and uncertainty that your gut speaks the loudest, urging you to take the leap, to make that tough decision. And when you do, when you finally decide to trust it, you'll be amazed at what unfolds. It's in those moments that you realize just how much power you have inside you, how much strength you have to push through to make it happen. So why don't we trust our gut more often? Fear, doubt, insecurity, the voices of others, the opinions of the world can drown out that inner voice. We're taught to question, to doubt, to follow the crowd. But deep down, you know that your gut is your truest ally. It's the only thing that has your back when everything else is uncertain. It's your personal guide, one that you've been gifted with since the day you were born. The next time you're faced with a decision, big or small, pause for a moment. Close your eyes, take a breath, and listen. What's your gut telling you? Trust it. No matter how scary, no matter how unclear the path ahead might seem, your gut knows. It always knows. And when you follow it, you're not just making decisions, you're making moves toward becoming the person you're meant to be. And the number 2 is embrace discomfort. The greatest breakthroughs in life don't come from staying where you're comfortable. They come from stepping into the unknown, the unpredictable, the uncharted. We spend so much time trying to avoid discomfort, believing that the path to success and happiness lies in safety, security, and certainty. But the truth is, real growth doesn't happen there. The real magic happens when you embrace discomfort, when you allow yourself to feel the tension of pushing past your limits. And that discomfort, it's often your gut telling you that you're on the verge of something incredible. It's natural to fear discomfort. The unknown is intimidating. But what if I told you that the discomfort you feel is actually the signal that you're heading in the right direction? That fear, that anxiety, it's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you're growing. It's a sign that you're about to break through. The greatest athletes, the most successful entrepreneurs, the people who make an impact on the world, they didn't get there by staying in their comfort zones. They got there by seeking discomfort, by stepping into situations that made them question their abilities, by pushing through the barriers that most people avoid. We all have moments in our lives when we face a decision that requires us to step outside of what we know, to risk everything for something greater. And it's in those moments that our gut plays a crucial role. Our gut is not just a feeling, it's a warning system, a guide that tells us when it's time to take that leap, even when everything inside us is screaming to play it safe. Your gut doesn't want you to stay where you are. It wants you to evolve. It wants you to grow, but to do that, you have to lean into the discomfort. There's a reason why discomfort feels so overwhelming at times. It's not just a random sensation. It's your mind and body telling you that change is on the horizon. And change is always uncomfortable. But if you can learn to embrace it, if you can learn to stay in that discomfort long enough to push through, you'll find that it was worth it. The breakthroughs you're searching for, they lie on the other side of that discomfort. People often say, I'm waiting for the right time, but the truth is, the right time never comes. There's never going to be a perfect moment when everything aligns. Life doesn't work like that. So you have to make the decision to step into discomfort even when you feel unsure. You have to take the leap, not because you know what will happen next, but because you trust that something greater awaits on the other side. Your gut will guide you through the discomfort, but it requires you to trust it, to move forward, even when the path isn't clear. There's a certain power in discomfort that you won't find in comfort. It's the power to transform, to learn, to adapt. It's the power to uncover strengths you didn't even know you had. Think about the most challenging moments in your life, those moments that made you question everything. Do you know what happened after those moments? You grew, you became stronger. You became a version of yourself you didn't even recognize, but in the best way. When you feel that discomfort, recognize it for what it is, an invitation to evolve. Don't shy away from it, don't run from it, embrace it. The growth you're looking for, the breakthroughs you want to see in your life can't happen without it. It's uncomfortable, yes, but it's also necessary. Your gut knows this, and it's pushing you forward, urging you to lean into it. When you do, you'll discover a version of yourself you never thought possible. But first, you have to embrace the discomfort. You have to step into it, knowing that on the other side of fear, anxiety, and uncertainty lies the person you were always meant to become. And the number 3 is recognize fear as a sign. Fear is often seen as something to avoid, something to run from. We're conditioned to believe that fear is a weakness, a sign that we're not capable or not strong enough to face what's ahead. But fear is not something to fear, it's a signal. It's a sign that you're on the edge of something new, something bigger than yourself. When your gut tells you to go, but fear is holding you back, that's when you need to listen the most. Fear is not your enemy, it's your guide. And it's showing you that you're stepping into uncharted territory, which is exactly where growth happens. Think about it. The moments in your life when you were most afraid were often the moments that brought you the greatest lessons, the biggest changes, and the most significant growth. Every time you've stepped out of your comfort zone, fear has been there with you. And every time you've faced it, you've learned something new about yourself. fear only has power over you when you allow it to control your decisions. When you trust your gut, when you push through that fear, you're taking back control. You're reclaiming your strength. Fear is natural. It's a survival mechanism built into us to keep us safe. But we live in a world that constantly pushes us to step outside of our safety, to take risks, to challenge ourselves. And when you push yourself to that edge, fear will be there. It's not something to be afraid of. It's a sign that you're doing something important. Your gut knows this. It recognizes that fear is a part of the process, and it urges you to push forward anyway. When fear shows up, it's easy to let it hold you back. It whispers doubts, it builds walls around your potential, and it tries to convince you that staying safe is the better option. But fear is often a sign that you're on the right track. If you weren't doing something meaningful, fear wouldn't even show up. Fear comes when you're about to do something significant. It comes when you're about to break through barriers, whether it's in your personal life, your career, or your relationship. That's when your gut will speak up, urging you to keep going, to trust that the fear is a natural part of the process. You've probably experienced that feeling when something in your gut tells you to go for it, even though fear is telling you to stay put. That's the moment you have to choose. You have to decide if you're going to let fear control you or if you're going to use it as fuel. Because fear can either paralyze you or propel you forward. It can either stop you from taking action or push you to take the biggest step of your life. The key is in how you respond to it. Your gut will always steer you in the right direction, even when fear is clouding your vision. It knows that fear is temporary, that it's a natural reaction to the unknown, and that the only way to get past it is to keep moving forward. When you push through fear, you build resilience, you build confidence, and you build the strength to face whatever comes your way. Every time you choose to face fear head on, you get stronger, and with each victory, your belief in yourself grows. Fear is a teacher, not an enemy. It's showing you where your limits are and where they can be stretched. It's pushing you to see what you're truly capable of. So when your gut tells you that fear is standing in your way, recognize it for what it is, a challenge, not a barrier. Your gut is telling you to face that fear, to trust that the reward on the other side is worth it. The moment you decide to take that leap, to face that fear, you open yourself up to a world of possibility that you would never have experienced if you let fear dictate your choices. The best part, you'll realize that fear doesn't have power over you. You have power over it. And the number 4 is stand up for yourself. Your purpose is the driving force behind everything you do. It's the reason you wake up every morning, the energy that fuels your passion, the motivation that keeps you going when things get tough. But sometimes, life can get in the way. Distractions, setbacks, and challenges can cloud your vision, and it's easy to lose sight of why you started in the first place. Your gut, however, always knows the way back. It's the internal GPS that keeps you connected to your true purpose. It's there to remind you of why you're doing what you're doing, even when the road gets hard and the path forward isn't always clear. There will be moments when everything around you will try to pull you off course. The voices of doubt, the opinions of others, the temptations of the easy way out, they will all try to distract you. Your gut, though, will always guide you back to your purpose. It's the one thing in this world that you can always count on. It's the truth inside you, and it will never steer you wrong. When you start to feel lost or unsure, take a step back and listen to your gut. It will remind you of what matters most, of why you're doing what you're doing, and of the impact you're meant to make. Staying connected to your purpose isn't always easy. It takes discipline, it takes focus, it takes the courage to keep going even when things aren't going your way. But your gut knows what you're capable of. It's been with you every step of the way, guiding you, pushing you forward. And when you trust it, when you lean into it, you'll find the strength to keep moving, even when the path ahead seems uncertain. There will be times when the road ahead seems difficult, when the challenges seem insurmountable. It's in those moments that your purpose becomes even more important. It's easy to give up when things get tough. It's easy to turn back, to take the path of least resistance. But your gut knows that those obstacles are part of the journey. They're not there to stop you. They're there to help you grow. And your purpose is the fuel that will keep you going when everything else tells you to quit. Your gut will always pull you back to your purpose, but it's up to you to listen. The world is full of distractions, full of noise, full of people telling you what you should do or who you should be. But none of that matters if it doesn't align with your purpose. You were born for something greater than the opinions of others or the temporary setbacks that try to knock you off course. Your gut knows that, and it will never let you forget it. When you trust your gut, you tap into the most powerful resource you have, your own sense of purpose. That purpose is unique to you, and it's the driving force behind everything you do. No one else can define it for you. No one else can take it from you. It's yours, and it's the reason you were put here in the first place. Your gut will always remind you of that, even when the world tries to pull you in a different direction. Purpose doesn't come easy. It takes time, patience, and a willingness to keep pushing forward even when the road is hard. But when you're connected to your purpose, when you listen to your gut, you'll find the strength to overcome anything that stands in your way. Your purpose is bigger than any setback. It's bigger than any obstacle. It's bigger than any fear. And your gut will always guide you toward it, no matter what. It's a constant reminder that you are on the right path, even when the world around you tries to tell you otherwise. Trust it. Keep going. Your purpose is waiting for you on the other side. And the number 5 is be relentless in pursuit of your purpose. There will be times in life when something doesn't sit right with you. Maybe it's a decision someone's asking you to make, a situation that feels off, or a person who doesn't align with your values. In those moments, your gut will speak up, and it's crucial that you listen. It's not always easy to stand up for yourself, especially when the pressure to conform or go along with the crowd is strong. But your gut knows your worth, your boundaries, and your limits. It knows when something isn't right for you, and it's urging you to protect what matters most. The power of standing up for yourself is in understanding that your peace and your integrity are non-negotiable. Too often, people will try to convince you to settle, to compromise, or to ignore that inner voice. They'll say things like, "It's not that big of a deal," or "Just let it go." But if it doesn't sit right with you, then it is a big deal, and you don't have to let it go. You don't have to accept things that don't align with your values or that make you feel uncomfortable. Your gut is telling you that your peace is important. It's reminding you that your integrity, your mental well-being, and your future deserve to be respected. Listening to your gut in these moments is an act of self-respect. When you don't stand up for yourself, when you let things slide that you know are wrong or don't align with your values, you are sacrificing your own sense of worth. You're telling yourself that your boundaries don't matter. But that's a dangerous road to go down. If you let others walk all over your boundaries, eventually you'll lose sight of what you really stand for, and your gut will become less and less of a reliable guide. It's only when you honor your gut, when you stand firm in your beliefs, that you strengthen your ability to trust yourself. And the more you trust yourself, the stronger you become. There will be people who try to take advantage of your kindness, your generosity, or your willingness to avoid confrontation. They'll test your limits, push your boundaries, and try to manipulate you into going along with what they want. But when you listen to your gut, you recognize these moments for what they are. Your gut will tell you when something doesn't feel right. It will tell you when you need to draw a line in the sand. It will tell you when you need to say no, when you need to walk away, or when you need to stand up for what you believe in. It's not about being confrontational, it's about being true to yourself. It's about honoring what you know is right, even when it's hard. There will be times when standing up for yourself means walking away from a situation, even if it's uncomfortable. It may mean speaking your truth, even if others don't want to hear it. But the beauty of this is that when you honor your gut and stand firm in your beliefs, you gain more than just the respect of others. You gain respect for yourself. You gain the ability to move through life with confidence, knowing that you've got your own back. And when you've got your own back, there's nothing you can't handle. It's important to recognize that standing up for yourself isn't just about the big moments. It's also about the small ones, the moments when you're faced with a decision that goes against your values, or when someone's asking you to compromise on something that feels wrong. Your gut will speak in those moments too. It will guide you just as it will in the bigger decisions. Every time you choose to stand up for yourself, you reinforce your sense of self-worth and solidify your trust in your gut. The more you listen to your gut, the more you'll realize that your boundaries aren't walls, they're shields that protect your well-being, your values, and your vision for the future. Standing up for yourself is a way of saying, I'm worthy of respect. I'm worthy of peace. I'm worthy of living a life aligned with my values. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. Your gut knows what you deserve. It knows what's right for you. And when you trust it, you're giving yourself the greatest gift, the ability to live authentically without compromise and without apology. And the number 6 is follow the energy. There are moments in life when we feel drawn to something, a place, a person, a project, or even a new opportunity that excites us in ways we can't fully explain. That energy, that spark, the drive, it's not random. It's your gut telling you something. It's showing you where you should go next, what you should pursue, and where your true potential lies. Your gut doesn't just respond to fear or caution, it also responds to passion, to energy, to what resonates deeply with who you are. It knows where the fire is, where the excitement lies, and where you can thrive. It's your inner guide, pulling you toward the things that align with your deepest desires, your highest goals, and your greatest potential. When you pay attention to where your energy flows naturally, you are tapping into a source of power that will propel you forward. That energy, the passion that you feel when you think about a project, a goal, or a person is a powerful force. It's often a signal that you're on the right path, that you're getting closer to something that matters. Too often we dismiss these feelings, thinking they are fleeting, or that we should focus on things that are more practical or grounded. But your gut, your intuition, is telling you something different. It's telling you that passion and energy matter, that they are signs pointing you in the direction of where you will thrive, where you will find fulfillment, and where you'll create the most impact. What happens when you follow that energy? Magic. It's not always a straight line, it's not always a smooth ride, but when you chase what excites you, you'll find that the obstacles are easier to overcome. The challenges will feel like opportunities for growth, and the setbacks won't stop you, they'll fuel you. When you feel that spark, when you feel that energy, it's your gut aligning with your greater purpose. It's showing you what your heart wants and needs. It's the pull of your potential calling you forward. And when you follow that, you'll find that things start to fall into place in ways you could never have planned. The right people, the right circumstances, the right opportunities will start to emerge. Now, not everything that excites us will be easy. There will be moments of uncertainty, of doubt, and of fear. But when you're following the energy of what excites you, even the tough moments will feel worth it. Your gut will guide you through those challenges, reminding you that your passion is worth the effort. It will tell you when you need to push forward and when you need to take a step back and regroup. That's the power of following your energy. It's not about ignoring the hard parts. It's about trusting that even when the road gets tough, your gut will keep you aligned with your purpose. The problem is, so many people ignore that energy. They get caught up in what they should be doing, in what others expect of them, or in what seems the most sensible or practical. But practical doesn't always lead to fulfillment. Following the energy, following what excites you, that's where true fulfillment lies. The world is full of distractions, full of noise, and sometimes it's easy to lose sight of what truly drives you. But when you focus on what excites you, when you follow that energy, you're not just chasing a goal, you're pursuing a life that feels alive. You're embracing what truly makes you feel passionate and inspired. And that's when you start to operate at your highest potential. Energy isn't just something you feel, it's something that you create. When you align your actions, your choices, and your efforts with what excites you, you will create an energy around you that draws in everything you need to succeed. Opportunities will come to you in unexpected ways. People will be drawn to your enthusiasm, your drive, your passion. And the more you follow that energy, the more you'll realize that the universe works with you when you align yourself with what feels true to you. Your gut doesn't steer you toward things that drain you. It pulls you toward what fuels you, what brings you to life. So listen to it. Follow that energy. Because when you do, you'll uncover strengths and opportunities you never imagined. The spark that you feel is a glimpse into your future, and it's a glimpse into the life you're meant to live. In life, your gut instincts are not just fleeting thoughts or random feelings. They are powerful guides rooted in your experiences, your values, and your true purpose. Listening to them is not about avoiding mistakes or following a perfect path. It's about trusting yourself, staying true to your core, and embracing the opportunities that come with taking risks. The more you trust your gut, the more you align with your true self, and the stronger you become in navigating the challenges life throws at you. When you follow the guidance of your instincts, you'll find the strength to push past fear, to stay grounded in your purpose, and to embrace the energy that leads you toward fulfillment and success. Your gut is never wrong. It's always your greatest ally, helping you move forward, grow, and become the person you're meant to be.